In this video, we're going to be transforming a raw, uncured pork belly into one of the best delicacies around. Alright, my preferred way is to go ahead and cube the pork belly. Sometimes I'll end up doing the whole pork belly and then cubing it later. In this case, I am going to go ahead and cube everything. The main reason is I want to use all this for burnt ends. Sometimes I will only use a portion of this pork belly for burnt ends, and the other portion I may use to fill in other recipes. But today I'm just going to do burnt ends. So I'm going to cube the whole thing. I'm going to slice it both ways, about 1.5 inches, so I'll make 1.5 inch cubes. Hi y'all, Don here with Southern Backyard Cooking. I hope you're enjoying my video today, and if you are, please make sure you subscribe, ring that bell, and don't forget, give me a big thumbs up. First thing, I can either start this way or start this way, it doesn't really matter. So I'm going to start this way. And you can see how nice this looks. Just real easy to do. Alright, so now I've got all my slices done. You can see I have a lot of meat in here with some fat at the top. One of the things that you want to make sure you do, and I thought it was skinless. This one had the skin on it. Okay, so to take the skin off, all we do, place it skin side down. Make sure your knife is really sharp. I just sharpened it, and back and forth just above the skin line. And you can see it goes right through it real easy. And voila. There we go, the skin is off. Now we have a nice perfectly piece of meat. Alright, now that I have my skin off on all the different pieces, I'm going to make 1.5 inch cubes. So I'm going to cut it, and it doesn't matter if you cut it this way, doesn't really matter. So I'm going to make all of them into cubes. Alright, so now I have everything in cubes. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to actually put it in one of these half-size pans. That way when I sprinkle my sauce, I can make sure it's covered on all sides. It's one of the reasons I like doing it this way, is one is I can get my rub on all sides of the pork belly. So just sprinkle it on, put it on pretty heavy, because basically what I'm going to do is turn them all over. I want to get it on all sides. It's a good way that flavor is going to be everywhere. That's one of the reasons I like cubing them. And I add the rest of them. So I'm being very, very liberal with my rub. And I'm making sure it's covering every side of all of them. Now I'm just going to kind of move them around. There's some of the rub down at the bottom of the pan. I'm mashing it into the different ones. And if I see there's some that need a little extra, add a little extra. Now the one thing I want to do with this is I want to let it sit and soak in for about 15 minutes. So at this point in time, I'm going to turn my smoker on. And what I'm going to do on my smoker is I am going to cook it at 225. I like to cook mine low and slow. So I'm going to do 225, and in most cases I can do this in about 3 to 3.5 hours. All right, so while I'm waiting to put my meat on the smoker, I'm going to put it on a rack. This is going to make it a lot easier for me to actually stick it into the smoker. Now I don't want these touching, but I try it if I can, put fat side up, and I just want to put them on here. The reason I put them on this rack is this makes it so much easier to move it in and out of the smoker. And I'm just stacking them all on here. All right, y'all see I have all of my pork belly burn-ins on my rack here. Makes it real quick and easy into the smoker and out. The whole key is I don't want to leave the smoker open for anything longer than I have to, because then the temperatures fluctuate. So I am just now up to 229. It's starting to stabilize around that 250, so I'm going to take them. I have 3 racks in my smoker. I'm going to put it on the middle rack, and I'm just going to slide it in, set them there, and close it up. Now, one of the reasons I didn't start my smoker until I had my pork bellies all ready is with a pellet smoker like this Z-Grill, it only takes 10 to 15 minutes to warm up and stabilize. So that gave me plenty of time to let my rub soak in and seep into the meat to give us a really good flavor. So now we're going to go around 2.5, maybe 3 hours, and then I'm going to check to see if they're done. All right, y'all, it's been just a little over 3 hours. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my thermometer, not so much to check the temperature, but I'm going to check to see if it's done. So what I'm going to do, yeah, we got a nice good color over everything. What I'm doing is just kind of poking and seeing if that is really tender and that fat is rendered off. Basically what I'm looking at is how easy does it go through. It went through very easy, so it's all done. So what I'm going to do now is pull them off. I'm going to put my heat resistant gloves on so that I can grab one of these, grab the tray so it doesn't burn me, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to put them in this, well, hopefully I'm going to put them in here. Okay, so I have them all into my pan, this half-size pan here. I'm going to pour some barbecue sauce, just regular barbecue sauce that I made. For this type of thing, I always like to bake mine a little bit sweeter than normal. Now, I don't want to puddle this, but I do want to make sure that all the pieces are thoroughly coated. So I poured it over, and now I'm just going to move it all around, make sure that I get a good coating. I may end up having to pour some more over on this, because I want every piece to be coated in all directions. A little bit more. Okay, so now I've got a good coating on everything, and at this point in time I'm going to put them back into the smoker. This time I'm only going to do about 15 minutes. That'll get it to caramelize all this. Throw it right down on the bottom and let her rip. All right, y'all, it's been about 15 minutes since I've had the burn-ins back in with the barbecue sauce. This is the one area that I like them to stay in there at least 15 minutes, sometimes 30 to 45 minutes, because this barbecue sauce starts to caramelize really good, and it almost makes them be like candy. So anyway, let's pull them out. I'm just going to grab one of my gloves. So here they are, looking pretty good. I'm going to pull a couple of them out and put them right here on my plate. And you can see they're coated very well. Okay, I've got a couple here. What I'm going to do is this is the best part. This is the time I really enjoy in every video, is now I'm going to taste one of them. So I'm just going to pick one up and let's bite into it. Man, that is good. That is really good. I can taste that sweetness of the barbecue sauce, of the caramelization, the fat that's left in that. It's like bacon on steroids. Boy. I'm sorry, I found my supper for tonight. I hope you enjoyed my video. And if you did, make sure you do the normal thing. Subscribe if you haven't. Ring that bell. Bang, bang, bang. And give me that big thumbs up. Until next time, guys, y'all enjoy.